the 10, or today we're going to do the 100, that is near the number that we're talking about. For example, 113 is near 110, or near 100, right? So tell your partner of another example of two numbers that are near each other. Ready? Go. You come here because when you're there, you can't talk with your group. Thank you. 13 is near.
Oh yeah, you did do it on you didn't even do it on because 21 is lesser. So it says 2 that's right here.
What'd you come up with?
We said like
Good. Attention!
okay!
I heard Jamar tell me 13 is near 10. I heard our Travion tell me that 19 is near 20. When we are talking about near, we're going to hold our hands close to each other like this because they are near each other. All right? You need a small whiteboard, a marker, and a seat. Quickly, quickly. All right, so we've been talking about rounding. Attention.
Okay!
If you are sitting in a seat where you can't see me very well, please turn your whole body, your whole chair so you can. Thank you. Do you need a chair? You're going to stand? Okay. Well, there's a chair in case you choose to sit. So we've been talking about rounding and finding those tens that a number is near. Today we're just going to do the same thing. Talk about rounding, talk about numbers that they are near. But instead of talking about tens today, I want to talk about hundreds. So if I were looking at a number like 112, and I were to round that to the nearest hundred, what hundred would 112 be closest to? If you don't blow it in your hand, let it go.
110!
Well, 110 would be the 10 it's closest to. The 100 it's closest to is 100. 112 comes between 100 and 200 when I'm thinking about which 100 is near. 112 is near 100 compared to 200, right?
Yes.
If I looked at it on a number line. All right, now it's your turn. I want you to think which 100 is 325 near. Which 100 is 325 near? And write on your board. Which 100 is it? Which 100? Remember, 100 is we count by hundreds. 100, 200, 300. Which 100 is it close to? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Markers down. Let me see your boards, even if you don't have a number. Let me see. Okay. I see a lot of people saying 300. Who can explain to me why 300? Isaac.
Because I put 400 right here and 300 right there.
Stop right there. Samai, why did he put 300 here and 400 here?
Because he put... I didn't hear that well. Can you please speak up a little bit louder? I put the 300 here because if you put the 300 here, it would, and the 400 here, it wouldn't make sense.
Why didn't you put 500 or 600? How come you put 300 or 400?
Because in order for it to go up to like 600 or 500 or 700 or something, and have to jump like 300s. For it to jump to 400 or 300, they'd only have to jump either 100 or 25.
So what I hear you saying is that 325 is
Closest.
What's the word?
Near.
300 or 400, right? Did you hear that, Samai? 325 is near 300 and 400. So he's picking between 300 and 400. If we think which one does it round to, it's going to round to 300 because it is closer or near the 300. All right. Attention.
Okay.
Are you ready for some math?
Yes.
Okay, third graders. We have been working really hard on using the relationship between addition and subtraction to fluently add and subtract. We've also been looking at place value and noticing how place value helps us to understand numbers. Today we're going to take that a little bit further and we're going to look at place value and how important it is. And then we're going to apply that fluently adding and subtracting that we've been working on. Yes, sir? We're going to talk about that in a second. Jeremiah, what's the problem? All right, so we've talked a lot about how important this is. It's really important to be able to use place value correctly. And let me tell you a reason why. I had this dinner party a few months ago, and it was a big dinner party. I invited everyone that I knew to it. Now, I don't cook. You don't want me to eat my cooking. So I ordered all my food online, and I had my food delivered to me. There were supposed to be 150 people. 150 people at my dinner party. But when I put my number in for the number of dinners that I needed to deliver with me, I got mixed up, and I mixed up my 5 and my 0, and I only put in 105. Can you guess what happened at my dinner party? When it came time for my dinner party, no, all 150 people came. Artravian, I didn't have enough food for everyone. It was a disaster. It was a mess. Well, some people didn't even get to eat. It was such a mess. I don't even want to talk about it because I'm really embarrassed about it. But that's why it's so important for us to know where numbers are placed and know what they mean when they're placed there. Because if we mix it up, you could end up with a disaster. Just like, yeah, I don't even want to talk about it. It bothers me too much to think about it. So anyway, that's what we're going to be looking at today when we are looking through our problem. So we have a problem in front of us. Third graders, smart third graders, when they get a word problem, they do what?
Read
2 or 3 times. Read it quietly to yourself, please. You can give me a quiet thumbs up when you're done. Attention.
Okay.
That's one time we read it. Let's read it one more time. This time let's read it together. Are we ready?
Yes.
Your eyes can be there or they can be here. Here we go.
How many different 3-digit numbers can you make using the digits 2, 8, and 4? List the numbers you create. What is the difference between the smallest and the largest
I heard other people say it too. That's a word that you have a little bit of trouble with. Digit means any of the numbers from 0 to 9. They are digits that we can put inside different place values. I can't put a 12 in the hundreds place because that has 2 digits. Digits are those numbers where I can only use one of them. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. Also, I saw this word difference, and I'm not going to talk about it, but I just want to let you know that this word difference is really, really important in this problem. So when you are working with your partner, please keep that word difference in mind. We read our problem 2 times. We could read it a 3rd time. Maybe when you go back before you start working, you read it a 3rd time. Now what do? I have to think about what? Jamar, can you help him? What do we know? What do we know in this problem? What information can I take out of the problem so that I can solve it? Turn and tell your partner. Go.
Okay.
Yeah, that we know 3 digit numbers. Good, make it go more. We have to put digits. We can only use 3 different digits, right? Attention!
Okay.
I heard 2 different things. One is that we need to make 3-digit numbers. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Let's underline it. 3-digit numbers. I heard one more thing. I heard that we can only use 2, 8, and 4. Do you agree with that? Yes, that's what you said too? Let's underline that too. 2, 8, and 4. You don't have to write. You can just underline. 200, 2, 8, and 4. All right. I read it. I figured out what I know. My next step is to figure out what do we want to know. I'm going to give you a hint. There's more than one thing that they want us to know, and more than one thing that they want us to do in this problem. Turn and tell your partner. Go. Attention!
Okay.
I heard someone say that they want us to list all the numbers we can using these 3 digits. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to put a W for want to know. We want to know all the numbers we can make with 2, 8, and 4. Agreed?
Yes.
Layla, can you share with me what you said?
I said that they also want us to know what is the difference between the smallest and largest.
You agree with that?
Yes.
What is the difference between the smallest and largest numbers? I'm going to box that in because I feel like that's the most important part that they want us to know. Why, Layla? What did you tell me? Because there's a question mark. And that question mark helps me understand that that is the thing that I really need to pay attention to. So I know that I need to know all of the numbers and I need to list them. It even says right here to list them. List all of the numbers I can create with 2, 8, and 4, and then find the difference between the smallest and the largest number. To find that difference, what strategies could we use? Go ahead and shout them out.
Break apart. Break
apart. I hear base 10. I hear the algorithm.
Break apart.
I could draw a picture.
Base 10 blocks.
I got base 10 blocks.
Picture. Number line.
Number line, that's another choice. To find the difference, what strategy are you going to use? Think for a minute. Think. Think. Now jot it down. What strategy are you going to use? Pick one, please. In 5, 4, 3. Isaac, you have a strategy written down? Oh, don't forget to write it. If you don't know what algorithm is, then do you think that's the best strategy for you? If you don't know what it is, that's not the best strategy for you. Pick one that you know. 3, 2. I know for the vocabulary parade last year, somebody was algorithm. Well, that's not one of them. 1. All right, give me a thumbs up if you know what you're going to do. You may work with your partner. You may work with a small group at your table. You may work by yourself. It's your choice. I'm just asking, since I'm wearing a skirt today, can you please work at a table so that it's easier for me to sit next to you? All right? Are we ready?
Yes.
Go.
Okay!
Nobody needs to just base 10 blocks because we don't know what we're doing. We have to understand what we're doing before we can use the base 10 blocks to solve the problem. You said we need to use base 10 blocks to solve the problem, and I asked what problem. You don't even know what the problem is yet. Do you? So let's think about that. What is the other thing to say? What's the first thing we have in this problem? We need to list the numbers, right? So that's the first thing we need to do. Because we're finding the difference between the smallest and the largest number. But we don't know the numbers yet. We have to make them. We have to create them. So what numbers do we make using these digits? 2, 8, and 4. Okay, write it down. That's how we list. So we can do 284. Did you list your numbers?
Yes. Biggest